Now at 7 o'clock, a mountain biker missing since Friday. We'll take a look at the search efforts, which will continue today. What we know so far about the man coming up in our top story.
Plus, Portland police investigating a stabbing that turned into a homicide. What we know so far. And
years ago when I used to come here, we kind of had a park like how we are now. And there used to be cars on the roadways too, blocking other people in.
There are new parking rules and regulations for Sauvie Island this month, but question for you, China Green.
Yeah.
You think that stopped people from packing the beaches there this past weekend?
no way.
It did not. Yeah, hot temperatures, lots of people parking. It actually went pretty smoothly. We'll tell you more about the new rules and regulations coming up this hour right here on Sunrise.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We are ready to go on this work week. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis also on board to get the 7 o'clock hour started. Rod, let's start with your Monday forecast.
We have a one-day cool down. Hip, hip, hooray for us. 95 yesterday in Portland. Today, up and down the valley and up into southwest Washington, we should hold in the 80s. So take advantage because hot weather is quickly returning tomorrow, and Wednesday could be the hottest day of the year. Growing confidence that it will be. Here's our state capital. You can see the blue skies up top, 70 degrees. It's been a warm morning. Again, we're coming off of that hot weather yesterday afternoon when Portland was at 95, now 66 as we look at the Rose City camera, light northwest winds. I have us 75 at noon and a high today of 84. It does appear there's a reasonable chance that we will see 100-degree temperatures in the valley Wednesday. More on that in the KGW weather impact alert for the hot weather coming up in just a bit. Here's Chris.
Rod, we pick it up with a traffic alert in the Pearl District. You're looking live right now at what appears to be a rollover crash on the exit ramp from Everett from 405 South to Everett. Police just showing up on the scene, a car on its side. No word on any injuries at this point, but you can clearly see that Everett, or not Everett, but I should say 16th Street, southbound here, closed coming off the freeway here as cars get diverted onto, it appears to be Everett, and that southbound 16th continues to be blocked at this moment. So I'll keep you posted on this. Our other trouble spot is on the Markham Bridge, southbound I-5. We've got a disabled vehicle here that's got one lane blocked. You can see it from our Wells Fargo Sky camera. And guys, that is really backing up the southbound I-5 drive now. Past Morrison and onto Interstate 84. This is getting out well past the Hollywood district now on 84 westbound. So just like that, the drive from Troutdale is up to 30 minutes to get you into the I-5 split. We'll keep you posted.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 7 o'clock. Dozens of search and rescue crews are searching for a missing mountain biker in the Mount Hood National Forest.
52-year-old Ralph Sawyer did not return from his planned biking trip on Friday. His car was found with his phone inside, but other than that, crews have not found any new signs of his location. We talked to an official near the search area, but the resources being used in the mission.
Saturday, we had about 40 searchers out in the field using ATVs, motorbikes, drones. We had an airplane from Hood River County Sheriff's Office helping us out. So we've basically been using everything we've had to try to find him. And then today, Sunday, we've had about 70 searchers out in the field using some of those same tools. And they've really been able to cover a lot of ground today.
They say that they're centering their search around East Still Creek Road and roads around Trillium Lake. Sawyer is 6'1" with brown hair. He was last seen wearing an orange bike helmet, blue shirt, and black shorts. If you have any information, you're asked to call 503-723-4949. Meantime, police are investigating a deadly stabbing inside a Southeast Portland home on Sunday. They say it happened shortly after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon near the intersection of Southeast 114th and Boise Street. Officers found a man dead inside the home when they got there. Less than an hour later, they detained a suspect nearby. There's no word yet on whether the suspect and victim knew each other. Anyone with information is asked to contact Portland Police.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office is investigating two separate crashes over the weekend involving people on bikes. So the first one happened late Saturday night along Northwest Dairy Creek Road. That's where investigators say a car hit a woman on a bike and then took off. The woman wound up spending the night injured in a ditch. She was finally found Sunday morning and taken to a local trauma center. The second crash happened just before 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Witnesses say they saw a man on a bike suddenly cross Old Cornelius Pass Road directly into the path of a car coming down Cornelius Pass Road. Police say the 55-year-old cyclist is in critical condition. They also say the driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating with investigators.
In McMinnville, a Portland man led police on an unusual chase Saturday after crashing his car into a building near McMinnville Municipal Airport with a woman and a child in the car, then taking off on foot and breaking into another building. So stay with me here. It happened just after 12:30 p.m. at the building near the airport. Investigators believe 26-year-old Jamar Bell drove through a field and crashed through two chain link fences before hitting the building. Police say that Bell broke into the second story of a building in the tarmac area of the airport and was seen stealing keys. Bell was arrested on multiple charges. The woman and the child in the car were not hurt.
3 people walked away with relatively minor injuries after surviving a plane crash in Deschutes County. It happened shortly after 11 o'clock yesterday morning, just north of the Sisters Eagle Airport. A small Cessna aircraft crashed there shortly after takeoff. The people inside managed to get out before flames took over the plane. Fire crews put that fire out before it spread to vegetation and nearby buildings.
With the hot weather we're expecting this week, you may be looking to cool off at the beach, but remember, you need a parking permit to visit the beaches on Sauvie Island during the weekend. Celine Stevens brings us an update on how the new parking pilot program is going so far.
How's it going today, man? You going to the beach?
I am.
All right, awesome. Do you have your parking permit?
A wildlife area parking permit and a free Sauvie Island beaches pass are required if you plan on heading to any of the beaches on Sauvie Island during a weekend or holiday this summer.
I made sure to get it done on my ODFW app this morning. Easy peasy.
This being the second weekend of the pilot program.
What you see here today is we're helping people that come through, because you can buy this online. Just go to myodfw.com and click buy license. You can also get it through SauvieIslandParking.com.
The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife stating they offered 1,500 passes Sunday, yet by 2:30 in the afternoon, the beach's lots reached capacity, something Michelle Dennehy somewhat expected given the heat. She says the new system has helped with overcrowding.
We're definitely seeing that we don't have the kind of parking and traffic problems that we were experiencing. So definitely we're seeing that. We're hearing some good feedback from people coming through.
I've been here on the worst of the worst days. I mean, so if it's better than that, I hope that that will improve the experience for everybody.
Years ago when I used to come here, we kind of had to park like how we are now. And there used to be cars on the roadways too, blocking other people in.
And while not everyone was in the loop about the new rules,
We were stopped up there and they told us we had to get the beach pass and showed us how to do it on the phone.
So I'll have you scan that QR code.
operations still moved quickly, getting everyone what they needed and where they needed to go.
I showed it and I just said, hey, here's the date, and guys said, go on in.
The line didn't bother me. We got here about 11 and it was okay. Some of our friends got stuck in line, about 10 people long, but nothing crazy.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Wow. Rod Hill in the Weather Center. I heard you give a little comment there. The little Rodney. Wow.
Sounds like a good news story that everything went pretty smoothly, right?
Yeah.
Smooth.
This is the first big weekend, right?
Well, it started on 4th of July weekend, which that was probably big too, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, you're probably
so
right.
So we're 2 weekends into a system that actually seems to be working.
Oh, this has been going on forever at this point. Here's a look at our watch warning map. We get a break from the heat today, but we have a heat advisory from the Weather Service tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday. KGW weather impact alert for the heat as well. And it looks like Wednesday is the day that will be the hottest of the year so far, with temperatures having a reasonable chance to get up to 100 degrees. I wanted to illuminate the fact that from Longview all the way down to Eugene and southward down I-5, the heat advisory is up for tomorrow and Wednesday, and also out into the gorge. There's actually a heat advisory today out toward Umatilla County in Pendleton, where temperatures could get up to 100 degrees. All right, so for the Rose City, though, Tuesday noon through Wednesday 11 p.m. our KGW impact alert for the hot weather coming. Mid-90s tomorrow, could hit 100, even 102. Some spike temperature spots potentially Wednesday afternoon. So you'll want to plan your activities around the hot weather, especially on Wednesday. All right, back to today, which is going to be lovely. We do have low clouds and fog again at the coast. This is running about 2 weeks now of more days than not having cloudy conditions and some fog pockets along the beach and they may be stubborn to clear again today. 57 in Lincoln City right now. Downtown Portland's a clear sky start. It's also clear out in the gorge. You got the sprinklers going on the back patio there, it looks like, at Cathedral Ridge Winery in Hood River. You folks will see gusty west winds today. Hood River could see afternoon gusts jump up to about 30 miles per hour as we look out over the vineyard. All right, temperatures outside, 75 in the Dow, speaking of, breezy west winds later today. 66 in Bend, all clear. 66 in Baker City, all clear. And later today, the heat advisory, upper 90s to maybe 100 out toward Pendleton, but we'll stay in the 80s up and down I-5 for a pretty comfortable Monday for this time of the year. 84 in Portland, but tomorrow we're back to 95. There's 99, maybe 100 on Wednesday. We are closer to 90 on Thursday. Maybe Thursday has morning cloud cover. If so, we would stay in the 80s and have us in the low 80s this upcoming weekend. I know, Chris, you've been watching a traffic situation.
Yeah, a pair of alerts. We'll pick it up right now in Northwest in the Pearl District. You're looking live right now, the scene of a rollover crash on Northwest 16th and Everett. So for perspective, this cross street here where you see these cars turning to your right or their left, that's going to be eastbound Everett. This is 16th Street, and you can see this car on its side, another car involved, Portland Police on the scene. We don't have a lot of details about any injuries or anything like this, but what I can tell you is that eastbound Everett's pretty blocked up, and southbound 16th Avenue at this point not getting through this intersection. We've got a crew headed to the scene, and we'll hope to bring you more details in just a few minutes. But at this moment, that's an area you're definitely going to want to skip. Also causing trouble this morning on the freeway, southbound on the Markham Bridge, we're looking live at this from our Wells Fargo Sky camera. The southbound right lane has been blocked for about 45 minutes now with that disabled vehicle or crash. And it's got southbound I-5 and westbound 84 now really plugged up. There's the look right now at Morrison, and then we'll take you out onto Interstate 84. This is extra busy for this hour of a Monday morning commute, and our drive right around 30 minutes or so to get you in from Troutdale to the I-5 split. China, Drew.
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, a woman trying to get her golden wings by doing 1,000 lifetime skydiving jumps. Yes, you heard that right. And by the way, she's 86 years old. Yeah, look at her story when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
Yeah, great story on the way there. We also want to remind you about this, the KGW School Supply Drive, which starts soon, but right now is the time to get on board. You can go to kgw.com/school to sign up your business or organization to be an official school drive or school supply drive collection site. Help us collect school supplies this year and send thousands of kids and teachers in the area back to school with the supplies they need.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
An 86-year-old woman is one step closer to fulfilling her skydiving goal of 1,000 lifetime jumps.
So she started this journey 66 years ago when she was 20. And over the weekend, she added another jump to her resume. For more on her story, here's CNN's Liz Cho.
As the saying goes, with age comes wisdom. But for 86-year-old Kim Noor, with age comes thrill.
You feel alive?
I'm ready to go. Noor is traveling around the country with one goal in mind.
There's an award you get for 1,000 jumps from the United States Parachute Association, and it's gold wings.
And tomorrow, she'll get one step closer to her goal when she leaps from a plane over Long Island. She's jumped more than 800 times in her lifetime. For her, it's all about living in the moment.
You're not thinking about the bills back home, or things having to go to work or do this or that, and you're not thinking about the future because you have to live in the moment to participate and to fly like a bird. Have to blow a kiss.
Her skydiving career began when she was just 20 years old, when she forged her parents' signature to take her first tandem skydive.
Look at that sunshine.
After that, Noor would become a member of the first U.S. women's parachute team. And after a decades-long break from jumping to raise her children, she took to the sky again, this time with family.
Both of my daughters and all of my grandchildren have been jumping with me.
If all goes according to plan, Noor expects to take her 1,000th jump sometime next year.
Woo! That was a close one.
Oh boy, here's the problem. Did you hear her state? When you're up there, you can't think about the future. You have to live in the moment. That's my problem with skydiving.
It's a crazy, I mean, here the whole journey began all those years ago, 66 years ago, when she forged her parents' signature. So this great lifelong mission began with the forged signature, which real quickly made me think of Paul Sauvie in 2nd or 3rd grade, this kid in my class. This is pretty good, this is quick. We had to get our spelling tests signed by our parents to let them know how good or bad we did. Yeah. He didn't do well. He bombed the spelling test. So he forged his mom's signature, but immediately got caught by the teacher. And do you know why?
He misspelled the name.
He didn't just misspell his mom's name. He signed it Mom. M-O-M is how he forged his mom's signature.
What grade?
It was like 2nd or 3rd. I mean, he was young. Too young to probably even know about forging. But obviously too young to be very good at it either.
Mom.
Yeah, Mom wouldn't sign it that way, would she? That's a cute story, though.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Thank
Very
you.
sweet.
No.
That's the sweetest story you've ever shared.
Well, let's
with
not
us,
forget.
actually.
Let's not forget about this. The 86-year-old grandmom who's skydiving. Her story was pretty sweet.
Very sweet. All right, we begin with high fire danger today. This is well, it's all up in Washington. It looks like technically north of the river, White Salmon up into the Columbia Basin. Fire danger will be high, and I'm sure you've realized this, but will be high tomorrow and Wednesday. Really all over the place, because at least here on the west side of our state, we get more of a north to northeast wind flow tomorrow. That will lower relative humidities as the temperatures jump back up again. So just keep in mind, hot weather usually leads to high fire danger. So we will be monitoring that as well. Here's the heat advisory. This is all of I-5 out through the gorge. This is for tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday. There's a heat advisory today, kind of the same batch of hot weather Portland had yesterday. It's still going on out toward Pendleton today, where temperatures could hit 100 degrees. But for the Rose City, we get a break today. And then tomorrow we're back up to about 95, which is where we were yesterday. And then Wednesday is the day of most concern. 100, 102 degree temperatures in the valley, at least a possibility. Shade water, rest breaks, plan your day around the heat. Exhaustion, heat stroke all become possible if you're overdoing it in that type of hot weather. Okay, let's get to this morning, which is warm, but today's going to be fantastic. It's going to be about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. Here's a Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood. 68 degrees, blue sky over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha in Washington County. Light northwest winds, 66 is the number. Some pretty early morning shade from the trees over the end of the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center down in Oregon City. That's a beautiful clear sky morning for you folks as well. 70 right now in Salem, 61 up in Kelso. Now Kelso has some morning clouds, and we have clouds up and down the coast, but the rest of us are sunny. 72 currently out in Pendleton. Forecast numbers going on a couple of weeks at this point of more mornings than not being cloudy and foggy along the beaches, and afternoon clearing has been kind of spotty some days. So it's a tough call again, but you'll expect temperatures to get up into the 60s. Inland is just going to be sunny for the most part, 88 in Salem, or at least 86 it looks like. Certainly cooler than yesterday's 90-degree heat. In fact, this shows only mid-70s up in Longview and Kelso, where you do have clouds to start. Battleground 80, Vancouver 83. Out in the Gorge, it's a windy day. We have west winds gusting to 35 from Hood River to the east this afternoon. Hood River in the mid-80s, but the Dow spikes up to about 91. And here's Portland 7-day. 84 today. Nice break from the heat. Tomorrow back to 95, kind of what we've had several days this year. Wednesday could be 100. I've got 99 right now on the board. Heat advisory both days, and obviously the KGW weather impact alert for the hot weather. Thursday, 92, and maybe cooler. We could have some low cloudiness Thursday morning. That would keep us cooler if that happens, and then low 80s on Saturday and Sunday. So again, all eyes on Wednesday especially, Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with our traffic alert in the Pearl District. You're looking at Northwest 16th and Everett, the site of where it looks like at least one car has rolled over. An update on this, if you're watching us a little bit ago, there was another car involved in this crash that has at least been moved out of the intersection. Not sure where exactly is. Also not sure of the extent of any injuries, but I can tell you that they are slowly letting some traffic get by, despite the fact that there is still a car there on its side. Again, this is in the Pearl at Northwest 16th and Everett, a busy area where 405 southbound exits, and of course people on Everett trying to get onto northbound 405 on the other side. So that's a bit of a slow spot this morning for sure. All right, I-5, earlier trouble on the Markham Bridge, finally clear, but we still have some residual slowing that extends on I-5 south back out towards the Banfield. So 84 westbound is a little extra thick this morning, and right now that drive time is just shy of 30 minutes to get you in from Troutdale to the I-5 split. Sunrise rolls on after this break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Sunrise. While the Department of Homeland Security continues to deal with questions about the deadly flooding in Texas this month, President Trump is calling for new tariffs on Mexico and countries in the European Union. NBC's Alice Barr brings us the latest on all this from Washington, D.C.
President Trump stepping up trade tensions again with more top U.S. trading partners over the weekend, announcing new 30% tariffs on Mexico and the European Union, set to take effect August 1st, while signaling he's still open to negotiate.
We're dealing with other countries and certain countries that would rather have a deal than a regular tariff, and we're willing, if they're willing to open up
European leaders sharply critical of the tariffs they say would hurt businesses and consumers on both sides, pledging to intensify negotiations while warning they could retaliate. Mexico calling the new levies unfair treatment after President Trump accused the country of not stopping the cartels. Despite tariff uncertainty over the past several months, inflation has cooled, and the Trump administration is adamant prices won't go up.
Well, these tariffs are real if the president doesn't get a deal that he thinks is good enough. But, conversations are ongoing, and we'll see where the dust settles.
While some experts warn of a looming cumulative impact if all the threatened import taxes go through.
Everything is going to cost more over time.
At the same time, Homeland Security head Kristi Noem is defending her department's response to the deadly flooding in Texas, sharply refuting claims that a policy requiring her sign off on contracts over $100,000 caused delays.
Those contracts.
And on the future of FEMA.
The president recognizes that FEMA should not exist the way that it always has been. It needs to be redeployed in a new way.
Pointing to other federal resources like the Coast Guard that helped respond. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Here's a look at some other national headlines with your Morning Rush. President Trump is expected to make a major announcement today about Russia. The president says he's reached a deal to send weapons to Ukraine. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is also pushing a related bill that would let the president levy a 500% tariff on imports from countries that buy Russian uranium, gas, and oil. Wildfires are tearing through the Grand Canyon, meanwhile, specifically the north rim of the canyon, destroying the historic Grand Canyon Lodge and dozens of other buildings. These fires also reached a wastewater plant, causing the release of chlorine gas that forced emergency evacuations. So far, at least 50 structures have been destroyed. And Walmart is recalling more than 850,000 water bottles after reports say the lid can pop off these bottles and cause injuries. 64-ounce Ozark Trail water bottles have caused at least 3 injuries, including 2 cases of permanent vision loss. Customers are told to stop using them and to contact Walmart for a full refund. And that's a look at your Morning Rush.
Just driving down Grand here and thinking about what we're losing, like Next Adventure is closing now. Nicholas isn't down there anymore. Andy and Bax is gone. Ollie Damon's left years ago.
Yeah, businesses across Portland shutting down for good. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to hear from a bar owner who tells us why he's shutting down after decades in business. Plus, Intel laying off thousands of people, more than 4 times originally thought. Why local leaders say this is not just an Intel problem. That story at 7:30 as well.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on our Monday morning drive. This is our significant trouble spot right now on the west side, Northwest 16th and Everett. You can see Portland police on the scene of a rollover crash. Now, the update that we just got was that there were no reported injuries here, so that's great news. But obviously, this is a bit of a traffic tie-up. We've got a different perspective from our crew on the scene. Looks like maybe a Jeep has flipped over. Not sure how many cars involved with this wreck, but it is causing some local slowing again, getting around that. And that's our big trouble spot for right now. Rod?
All right, Chris, thanks for that update. Weather-wise, we have a break from the heat today. I mean, you're not going to need a jacket or anything, but it won't be in the 90s. We'll stay in the 80s. Here's our state capitol live this morning. There's downtown Portland live. Early morning number out at the airport is 66. I have a 75 degrees at noon, and for the Rose City up to about 84 this afternoon. Now, it was 95 yesterday, so hence the one-day break in the heat, because just like that, tomorrow we're back up to about 95. And we will be right around reaching 100 degrees on Wednesday. Weather Service has a heat advisory up tomorrow and Wednesday. We have the KGW weather impact alert for the 2 hot days expected.
.30 half hour, the Sunrise Show, and we begin with this piece of news. Did you know that today is National Mac and Cheese Day?
About time.
Why is there lip gloss?
Let us explain. So here's the deal. Panera Bread is partnering with a lip balm maker to release a mac and cheese scented lip balm.
Oh, that makes sense.
They're calling it the Smack and Cheese lip balm. Smack and Cheese lip balm, limited edition. There's a pair here, okay, inspired by Panera's mac and cheese bread bowl. So one of the scents is scented after the mac and cheese. The other is scented after the bread bowl itself. You want the bread bowl kind or you want the mac and cheese kind? The lip, this is also weird. The lip balm also comes with a spoon-shaped applicator. So it's like you're eating it.
Oh, all right.
And it can be bought on Panera's website and on Amazon. Are you looking this up, China?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yo, it's on Amazon.
There it is.
Absolutely on Amazon.
To buy it, you mean?
Yep.
What's it cost? Does
It says $8.
$8 for like a little thing of lip balm. Like the regular chapstick size.
And does it have SPF and all that stuff in it?
You know, can you get SPF in your mac and cheese? I don't know if they carry. I don't know if that's an ingredient.
Like, eat it.
But I mean, won't you be doing this all day if you're wearing this? Like, you know.
I think the real idea is
then
to
it
get
won't
news
last very
stations
long.
to talk about it and to talk about their business, and that's what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they don't care about selling the lip balm. They just want us to talk about Panera.
Well, they pulled that one off,
Yeah.
didn't they? Silly us.
Suckered.
Here's a look at our live camera out over wine country, Chehalem Tasting Room in Sherwood. You can see Mount Hood on the right. Just a beautiful morning. We have clouds this morning up and down the coast, also up into Kelso, Longview area, but that's it so far. Otherwise, it's mainly clear, certainly perfectly clear of a downtown. Willamette River, nice and quiet. Winds are light northwest of 5. Early morning number is 66 degrees. We should stay in the 80s today. Yesterday it was 95. Today, 75 at noon, and we could stop about 84 degrees. We do have the heat advisory from the Weather Service back tomorrow and back on Wednesday. And again, Chris, as you know, it's Wednesday that we could be close to actually reaching 100 degrees, sir.
Yeah, if we do first time this year, right? We'll keep you posted on that for sure, Rod. Thank you. All right, an update on our traffic alert on the west side. This is Northwest 16th and Everett. You can see a tow truck just now pulling up to the scene. This car flipped over a little while ago. Portland police reporting no reported injuries, I should say, around this. But at the moment, this is obviously backing up the Everett exit ramp from I-405 South, Everett eastbound. Obviously a busy thoroughfare to get out of there and onto 405 North on the other side of the freeway. There's a live look right now from our crew on the scene. Amazing that there were no reported injuries with this. But in any event, car on its side, not a great way to start off your Monday morning for sure. And that's obviously slowing the commute on that side of town. All right, I-5 from Clark County, slow and steady at the Interstate Bridge, and that extends back deep into Clark County. This is back towards the Discovery Trail crossing, so not far from Main Street is where the end of the line is. And with that in mind, we're looking at about 25 minutes to get you in from Main Street south to the Fremont Bridge. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. We'll start our news headlines this half hour with this, an update to a story we brought you as it was happening last Friday morning. A man is under arrest for allegedly starting a fire at this Portland apartment building near 104th and East Burnside. The charges against Sean Swartz include arson, reckless endangering, and criminal mischief. The landlord of this complex says 6 units are a total loss, leaving at least a dozen people without a home. Firefighters had to rescue 8 people that morning. Some told us they actually jumped out of their windows to escape. 2 people ended up in the hospital with burns. 1 person broke their ankle from jumping to safety. Portland Fire is still working to determine how exactly this fire started, but we're told that the suspect charged with arson was a resident in that building.
A couple of well-known Central East Side Portland bars have announced that they are shutting down for good and soon.
Yeah, KGW's Celine Stevens spoke with one of those businesses to find out why they're closing their doors after 20 years.
Like every time we take a step forward, it's like another step back.
Steve Carter is general manager at Slow Bar, a well-known spot for people to grab a burger and a drink 7 days a week. The bar just hitting its 21st anniversary on the 4th of July.
There's people that wouldn't know each other if they hadn't been sitting next to each other at this bar. And they've become fast friends, and it kind of bums me out to think about where people are going to meet up now.
Now the closure coming after consistent financial struggles post-pandemic.
Basically just not wanting to go any more into debt, or not really able to go any more into debt, and it was just kind of time to call it. We've done everything we can as far as getting costs down and getting the costs of operating business down, but getting people through the door has been a little bit more difficult lately.
Carter says he thinks problems with drugs on the streets have also contributed to slow business.
Sales have definitely declined like at least 30%.
And it's not just them. Also on the Central East Side, Home, a bar, announced they are closing at the end of the month after 10 years due to increasing costs. And Higgins Restaurant in downtown announced they are on the brink of closure, writing in a statement they are hanging on by a thread.
Just driving down Grand here and thinking about what we're losing, like Next Adventure is closing now. Nicholas isn't down there anymore. Andy and Bax is gone. Ollie Damon's left years ago.
According to Prosper Portland, the city's retail sector continues to struggle, with vacancy rates for retail properties increasing to 32% in the fourth quarter of 2024, up from around 12% from quarter 4 in 2019. Now, Carter is expecting Slow Bar's doors to close for good on August 9th, sending their staff to try and find new jobs and fans of the bar to find a new gathering place.
Hearing the stories of people talk about like things they experienced here and growing up here, it's 21 years is a long time. It's been an experience to see that with people, and it's gonna be sad to not see them anymore.
In Portland, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Local business and political leaders are calling on Oregonians to show support for Intel as they set to lay off more than 2,000 employees this week. Intel initially indicated that tomorrow the company would be laying off 529 manufacturing employees, but that number nearly quadrupled to roughly 2,400. At this point, the layoffs are set for tomorrow at Intel's campuses in Aloha and Hillsborough. The Portland Business Journal says the revised figure means that the layoffs will impact nearly 12% of Intel's workforce, but leaders in the community say this isn't just an Intel problem.
These are Oregonians, these are families. The ripple effect is real. It's not just when that person loses their job, how it just doesn't affect them. There is a ripple effect to the community.
Oregonians, wake up. This is another moment to stand back and think about the fact that we need to appreciate every single business, whether it employs 2 people or 22,000 people.
Intel says that the layoffs are necessary due to high costs and financial concerns. Your time now is 7:37. A wildfire burning near a mattress has triggered level 2 beset evacuation orders for parts of Jefferson County. So what fire officials are calling the Cram Fire was discovered around 5:30 Sunday night. As of last update around 9 o'clock last night, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says that the fire has grown to more than 1,400 acres and is 0% contained. So here's a look at the current evacuation map for you. Pony Butte Road currently closed right now. So if you're traveling on Highway 97, be sure to let fire trucks and personnel through that area. And the smoke in the area can also cause poor visibility. So just be cautious of that.
Also in Central Oregon, the Highland Fire, burning 2 miles south of Prineville, has now burned 1,500 acres and is only 5% contained. Over the weekend, crews set up a perimeter around this fire. Aerial resources will also help firefighters on the ground who are working at this point on cooling hotspots. There are still level 3 go now evacuation orders in place near this fire, as well as level 2 and level 1 orders. So, Rob, we know that weather conditions are going to get hotter as the week moves on here. What else can you tell us about fire conditions out there in Central Oregon?
Well, in Madras and Jefferson County, mid-90s today, so that's not great. The wind direction has been and continues to be west-northwest today. Not expected to be overly windy in Jefferson County, but again, temperatures in the mid-90s. And as Drew mentioned, with hotter weather coming the next couple of days, growing concern. I will say that central and eastern areas may not get as hot Wednesday, Thursday as we will be here in the valley. Now let's get to the I-5 corridor, Portland, Salem, and Vancouver. Heat advisory is up for not today, but for tomorrow and Wednesday. We're talking about mid-90s on Tuesday, could be around 100 degrees on Wednesday with the greatest potential of hot weather up to about 102. Again, that's Wednesday. So exhaustion, heat stroke, shade water, rest breaks, et cetera, with the worst of the heat coming on Wednesday. Here we are right now. Now today, generally here west of the Cascades, is a break from the heat day. We do have kind of a mixed bag of low clouds and fog along the coast. That's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Here's the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles, where it will be a windy afternoon. Right now you've got gusts to 26. Westerlies could gust up to about 30 or 35 this afternoon. Right now you're at 75 degrees. It's 68 and clear over in Bend, 72 out in John Day right now. We've had low clouds along the coast and also up in Kelso Longview where it's 61. Laney, by the way, is our KGW dog of the day. I love sitting in the chair there looking out. Use the email address dog of the day at kgw.com. Send us your dog's name and photo and your dog will become our dog of the day. There's Laney this morning. So I mentioned mid-90s in Madras for high. This shows 93 at 5 o'clock, 94 in Bend. Right about 90 in the Dalles and 96 out in Pilton. You folks out in Umatilla County and the Columbia Basin under a heat advisory for today, but that'll lift tomorrow. So Portland, 84, break from the heat. And then just like that, the impact alert for hot weather returns tomorrow afternoon, 95, 99, or maybe 100 on Wednesday. And then we break the heat somewhat on Thursday and we continue to cool into the weekend with 82 on Saturday and Sunday. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's pick it up with that traffic alert in the Pearl District. You're looking live right now, Northwest 16th and Everett. Portland Police dealing with this rollover crash. The good news, Portland Police anyway, telling us there were no injuries reported with this. That Jeep, though, wound up on its side a little while ago. Tow truck there on the scene working to get that out of there. But in the meantime, traffic has been a little snarled through this intersection. This, of course, by the way, I'll step out of the way. These are the cars, that's 16th, but then over here is also the exit ramp from I-405 southbound to Everett. So things backed up a little bit on that side of town, no doubt causing a little bit of extra slowing coming off the Fremont Bridge. We'll hop over to Oregon City. Here's 205 southbound at Highway 213. That's puttering along a little bit, getting down towards the Abernathy Bridge, and that, of course, is normal for this hour of a Monday morning drive. Inbound Sunset, climbing the hill into the Sunrise at Sylvan. That's pretty thick, and at last check now, we're looking at 30 minutes, or just shy of 30 anyway, to get you in from Hillsborough to I-405 in the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Stop, just talking like I lead you on.
Still to come on Sunrise, entertaining your neighbors. A look at a place in Milwaukee where the people spend Friday nights participating in Porchfest. What that means when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Last Friday marked the start of an annual tradition in Milwaukee known as Porchfest.
What?
Porchfest 2025. Bring it.
This morning's Pacific Storyland, Catherine Cook shows us what was once meant to unite people who were able to read during the pandemic has now grown into a beloved tradition.
Fish are jumping. It's that time of year when a cappella and your mama's good look meets punk and neighbors.
Yeah, we love it. We come every year.
Meet neighbors.
Seeing our little son enjoy music and neighbors is fun too.
This is Milwaukee Porchfest, the genre-bending music festival where the next little act is always around the bend. One of these mornings. 5 years ago, people were focused on staying healthy amid the pandemic, but they were also needing social interaction and joy. And with the vaccine still months away, the cure for the latter, at least in Milwaukee, was live music.
We actually didn't think it was going to keep going. We thought of it as just a pandemic thing to do.
Samantha Swindler helped start Porchfest. She loves that people here get it.
I don't even know who most of these people are. Like, I love that. I love that they're just like coming in and hanging out with us. Like, it's great.
Portland's kind of big, but in the suburbs here, it's like brings back that feeling.
Turns out you don't need a pandemic to need music and community.
The world's kind of a scary place, and the way I get through it is focusing on like my friends, my neighbors, and just trying to make the best of what we're going through.
Over the last 3 Fridays in July, private homes and small businesses will host more than 100 mini concerts all over Milwaukee. The biggest Porchfest yet.
The Portland area's hottest club is Everybody's Neighborhood in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
And the crowd goes wild, right? Hey, if you have an idea for Catherine and the Pacific Storyland team, you can text your idea to 503-226-5088. You can also email your idea to pacificstoryland@kgw.com.
I think it's cool that it stayed continuing. What year is it? 2025. So
Yes.
it's 5 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
This March marked the basically the 5-year anniversary of the beginning of all that craziness.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. It's like there's small town charm to that, right?
My cousin Lee, over in South Jersey,
South Jersey,
a little east of here,
Yeah.
right, a little east of Gresham. She does this. She has put together this little neighborhood band and basically performs on porches in Collingswood, New Jersey.
Really?
Her husband plays the guitar. She's got a pretty good voice for someone with no training whatsoever.
And her goal is to get on the Milwaukee circuit.
I don't know why. I think her goal, like these people, is just to bring some entertainment and fun to the neighborhood.
But it doesn't go past 9, right?
No.
Okay.
It's always the videos I see. It's always daylit.
Okay.
All right. Good. We begin with the heat advisory map from the National Weather Service. This is up for tomorrow and Wednesday, and it includes basically all of I-5 from south of Eugene all the way up to Portland, Vancouver, and all the way up to Longview and also out into the Gorge. The hottest weather will be Wednesday here on the west side. Now, there's a heat advisory. This is going on out in parts of the Columbia Basin, including Pendleton, for today. This is the same batch of air that Portland had yesterday when we reached 95. And then in red flag warning for high fire danger north of the Columbia River. Okay, so our temperature march. Today, by the way, the 7 days all dry. No rain here on the west side anyway. Today is the one-day break from heat. It was 95 yesterday. Today, this shows 83, 86 from Portland to Salem. 91 out in the Dalles. Hot, but not overly hot. Prineville warming up to 96. And there's that heat advisory of Pendleton at 101. Now, here comes the heat returning to the west side. Here's tomorrow. 90 Longview, 96 Portland, 95 Salem will be under heat advisory. And then the worst of the heat is on Wednesday. Now, we've been tracking this Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday situation going all the way back to Wednesday, Thursday of last week. So the latest puts us right at 100 degrees, give or take, on Wednesday. This shows 99 Portland, 100 Salem, 99 Corvallis. Hotter Wednesday in the valley than it will be anywhere else in our state, as you can see. And then Thursday, we should start to drop temperatures again. All right, so back to today. Today's the one-day break from the hot weather. It's going to be a warm summer day. It's just not going to be in the 90s. We're 70 right now. It's plenty warm out this morning. Portland right now, 66 degrees. Winds are light northwest of 5. We have cloud and fog banks at the beach. It's 54 in Newport, 58 in Astoria. 70 over in Bend with a clear sky morning, and 66 out in Baker City with lots of sunshine. Valley forecast numbers. I don't know if it's going to be this warm in Salem, but this model likes 88, so we'll see sunny and warm, northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Quite a bit cooler across the Columbia. Again, Longview, Kelso reporting some cloudiness this morning. Only 76 today, really comfy stuff. Battleground 80, Vancouver 83. I've got Portland at 84. Again, yesterday it was 95, so a nice one-day break from the heat. But here we go, revving back up. 95 tomorrow afternoon, 99, maybe 100 on Wednesday. The record Wednesday is 104. And if the weather charts I'm looking at are correct, the hottest we could be would be 102. So not expecting any records. 92 Thursday as we drop the temperature. And if we get morning cloud cover Thursday, there's one scenario that shows we would probably stay in the 80s. I do have us 88 Friday, then all the way back down into the low 80s over the weekend of morning clouds and afternoon sun. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with that traffic alert, no longer alerting. That's good, right? This is Northwest 16th at Everett. That crash scene that was there for the last 45 minutes or so just cleared. There is a bit of a logjam, though, of traffic coming off of the Fremont Bridge, southbound 405, exiting to Everett Street, or Northwest Everett. I'll show you. There's the upper deck of the Fremont. So we're a little extra busy on that side of town. Of course, the line up there goes all the way back to Clark County, and that's not unusual for a Monday morning commute. Just shy of 30 now, 30 minutes, 26 minutes anyway, to get you in from Main Street down to the Fremont. We also have some unusual slowing in Marion County. I want to take you down to the Salem area, specifically south of Kubler Boulevard. It looks like we've got a disabled vehicle southbound near commercial, or not commercial, I should say, but south of Battle Creek Road. And that's causing about a 2-mile delay right now through Salem. So southbound I-5 taking an extra 15 to 18 minutes to get south of Kubler Boulevard if you're hitting the road in the next few minutes. Sunrise rolls on after this break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
Snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
American authorities say that they detained an Oregon mother and her 4 young children in Washington at the Canadian border.
They were detained while visiting with family at Peace Arch Park, a well-known neutral area where Americans can see their family and friends. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with more on their case.
A mother and her 4 U.S. citizen children from my district have been in an inhumane situation.
Congresswoman Maxine Dexter calling out U.S. Customs and Border Protection outside a facility in the small city of Ferndale, Washington.
She's been denied access to counsel. She's been denied access to her U.S. representative. If we accept that citizen children can be taken without cause, without due process, that mothers can be disappeared across state lines, we surrender our democracy.
That mother, Jackie Merlos, her mom, and 4 children traveled up to a well-known meeting spot on the U.S.-Canadian border, Peace Arch Park.
For years, people have used it as kind of a neutral area where they can see friends and family.
But that meeting with her sister ended in detention. Here's Mimi Letnich, close friend and guardian to Merlot's children.
Her sister, who's a Canadian citizen, stepped over the line when she was saying goodbye.
Following that fateful farewell on June 28th, Mimi says Border Patrol approached, arresting Merlot, detaining her and her kids. Days later, she says ICE picked up Merlot's husband, Carlos, in Portland, taking him to the facility in Tacoma.
They're the kind of people you want in society. They're the people that, you know, you're lucky enough to have as friends.
But a Customs and Border Protection spokesperson claims the mother was arrested for trying to smuggle, quote, illegal aliens into the U.S. In a statement, they added her children were present during the smuggling attempt, and she requested the children remain with her during detention. Len Saunders, an immigration attorney in Blaine, Washington, weighed in on the detention.
Something doesn't add up here. It doesn't add up that a mom would bring her 4 American kids if she was trying to help smuggle aliens into this country. So I'd be interested to know what the final details are and if Homeland Security is being honest here and upfront.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Yeah, the sounds of sirens, bullhorn messages from protesters, all of that can be heard loud and clear these days outside the ICE facility in South Portland. A woman who lives in low-income housing across the street from that facility is suing the city, saying that noise has extended into the night. She also claims that it's damaged her hearing.
She's not saying that people shouldn't be able to stand out there and wave their signs and have, you know, supportive honks every now and then come through. That's not what this is. She wants the weaponized noise to stop. She wants the city of Portland to come in and do their job.
Yeah, the lawsuit specifically says the city needs to enforce its noise laws and increase police presence in that area during these protests. We reached out to the city for comment, but haven't heard back yet.
Coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with a continued search for a mountain biker missing near Mount Hood.
Also coming up next hour, the latest on 2 wildfires burning in Oregon right now as Governor Kotek declares the Conflagration Act to help bring in more resources to fight those flames. Again, the 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise comes your way.